So for those of you who do not know, there are currently 28 Star Wars projects. That is insane to me. I didn't realize there were that many. Today, we are ranking everything, all the movies, all the shows. We're gonna have fun with it. We're just gonna have ourselves a little Star Wars conversation. And also, this list is just my opinion.
It's my opinion!
We all have our own opinions. Y'all can rank your own list in the comments below because I'd love to hear it. So I'm only gonna be ranking 23 Star Wars projects because I haven't seen Star Wars Resistance. I don't know if I should watch Star Wars Resistance or not. Like, I'm curious, is there anyone actually out there who's seen that show? Like, I don't know if it's worth watching. I know the main character's father shows up in Ahsoka, but maybe if I have time someday I'll watch it, but I don't think I'm going to. And then the Young Jedi Adventures, I'm not watching that. I'm not including Visions. I have seen both seasons, but it's almost like a multiverse thing. Like, I'm not going to include that on this list. And then the Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Underworld, Tales of the Empire, those are just going to be one thing because they're short. They're way too short. They're similar to one another as well. So let's jump into this. I'm excited. And again, just my opinion.
Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
And I
So I do have a tier list open on my computer because it's just easier for me, but I don't know how to screen record off my computer, so I can't show you the tier list. I'll put the main picture up afterwards, but I'm just gonna rank them with numbers. So number 23 is The Acolyte.
It's time to face the past.
I'm sorry, it's just not a good show. You know, I'm not sorry because the writing is, I don't know, I think it's kind of bad.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich!
And like when they first started the show, like I thought it was kind of good. Like it started off good, but then I don't know what happened. 2 whole flashback episodes is really bad, especially when it's the same flashback just from a different perspective. Like, it did not work at all. I think the one good thing about the show is the lightsaber fighting. The lightsaber fights were good, but they killed off the best 2 characters like right away. And then also it ends on too many cliffhangers. They bring in Darth Plagueis, they bring in Yoda, and none of that's ever gonna get resolved because they canceled the show basically. Number 22 is the Clone Wars movie. This is another one that I think I only watched this one once when I first started to watch the Clone Wars show because this like set up the show. But I don't know, I don't even remember it that well, but I just didn't care for it. I know Jabba the Hutt's like son is like included in it, and he's coming back into the Mandalorian Grogu movie pretty soon, next year, which is kind of cool. This was obviously Ahsoka's introduction.
Padawan would just slow me down.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
I don't know, I need to like maybe rewatch this one because I don't remember it that well. That's why it's so low on this list, but honestly I'm not going to because the show is much better, and we'll get to the show. We'll talk about the Clone Wars. Okay, so number 21 is the Tales of series.
My world has been burning since I was a child.
Technically, these are 3 shows. Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, and then Tales of the Underworld. I think I like Tales of the Jedi the best, probably, and then Tales of the Underworld and Tales of the Empire. But these are just way too short in my opinion, and there's like no direction. Like, people are talking about now how Star Wars animation has like no direction. Like, they don't know where they're going. I wish these were like full-on shows. Like, I wish Ventress got a show. I wish Cad Bane got a show. I do appreciate that they're putting a spotlight on certain characters who like we need to know more about, but at the same time, they're too short. They're very, very short. So that's why it's low on this list. Number 20 is The Phantom Menace.
You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force. You believe it's this boy?
Again, I am a little sorry for this one because it's so crazy. At the time when this came out in the 90s, this was everyone's like favorite Star Wars movie. Like, people were going crazy over this thing.
How was the film?
I'd give it a definite thumbs up.
Been waiting 15 years since Return of the Jedi came out to see the prequel.
There's no way it's going to be a disappointment.
It's going to be one of the many wonders of the world. There are now 8 wonders of the world. One of them being this movie.
They were like buying tickets for movies just to watch the trailer in front of the other movie. But like, I don't know, I just think it's not necessarily bad, it's just kind of a little bit boring to me. There's a lot of like political talk, which I understand now as like a major Star Wars fan. I understand it, but I like Anakin's introduction. I like Padme. I like all the characters, even Jar Jar. But again, I just think that it's a setup. It's like a setup for Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, and they did a good job with it. I like the Duel of the Fates with Darth Maul. I mean, that whole sequence is like really cool, but in terms of all the rest of the other Star Wars projects, this one is just towards the bottom. And that brings us to number 19, which is The Bad Batch.
The Clone Wars have ended. You can either adapt and survive, or die with the past.
I like The Bad Batch. I do like The Bad Batch, but I think there's a lot of filler episodes. Like, it's a little slow at times. I love the characters, though. Hunter is, like, my favorite clone for some reason. I think it's just the hair. And then I like Omega, too. I love the ending. The ending is amazing. And I really hope Omega jumps into live action at some point. I think that would be really cool.
Don't you think she would make a great young Omega? You fets are crafty. It was a sales pitch all along.
I remember season 1 had like a lot of cameos. Season 3 also has Ventress, which is cool. I like how they explored kind of what happened to the clones after the Clone Wars. It does do a good job. But again, the pacing, man, too slow, too many filler episodes. So that's why it's number 19. Moving on, number 18, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You can't run, Obi-Wan! You can't escape him!
First of all, Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's iconic. He's an iconic character. He plays it so well. I think for this one with me is just the story. And I think part of that is Rebels. They kind of already did the Darth Vader fight scene with Ahsoka, and it was very similar. And I like the Ahsoka one better, to be honest, but I like young Leia and Luke being included. I thought that was done really well. I didn't particularly care for any of the other side characters in the show. I just think this one was kind of like, it's just okay, you know? It's okay. But I was expecting better. I think they should have included Quinlan Vos in this show. That would have been really cool, because he's mentioned in the show. He needed to be in it. They needed that extra like boost to really like amp it up. Number 17 is Return of the Jedi.
I'll never turn to the dark side. So be it.
So it is the least of my favorites in terms of the originals. I'm not saying it's terrible. I don't think any of these now are bad. I think the only bad one is the Acolyte, to be honest, but...
Surprise is the f***ing is raw!
I mean, it is a good conclusion to the original trilogy, I will say that. Also, I know a lot of people like to hate on the Ewoks. I think they're adorable. I don't know. I like the second Death Star battle a lot, and then I also like the ending. Like, I like the characters. I like how they concluded everything. And then it's so hilarious how Hayden Christensen pops up at the end. Like, hey guys, watch the prequels now. Number 17 is The Rise of Skywalker.
Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi.
I don't even want to talk about this one. Listen, in terms of the sequels are like my Star Wars movies. I know everyone hates the sequels. I see it in the comments all the time, like, oh,
Sequels suck, they were so bad.
I mean, this is what I grew up with, so I saw all these in theaters. I love the characters. I understand the writing is not the best. Like, I know the plot to some of those movies aren't the greatest, but they're very visually stunning. I love the three main characters. I think with this movie, I was just happy none of them died. Like, I went in thinking someone was gonna die. I thought they were gonna kill off Rey. I thought they were gonna kill off Finn or Poe. They killed off Kylo. I could care less about Kylo Ren, honestly.
Traitor!
I'm just happy the main three are okay. And I like the action scenes. I think, again, the visuals on those films are some of the best in Star Wars. Like, you can't deny it. And then the music is good too. Like, Rey's theme is good. Number 15 is Attack of the Clones.
You are the most gifted Jedi I have ever met.
You're not all powerful.
Well, I should be.
Everything is going as planned.
What do I have to say about this movie? I don't even know. I like seeing the relationship between Anakin and Padme. I think, and it's a little cheesy, like it's a little cringy at times, but I don't know. I think they did a good job with it. I love the line, the iconic meme, I don't like sand.
I don't like sand.
Oh, it's so funny. There's a lot of like funny lines from the prequels for sure. I think the lightsaber fighting is also really good. I don't know what it was about the prequels. The way they have the lightsabers so fast. I wish they still did that because they haven't gotten to that level of lightsaber fighting in a while. I kind of also like CGI Yoda a little bit. Like, I know a lot of people prefer the puppet version of Yoda, but they had to switch for this movie. Like, there's no way they can make a puppet fight like the way Yoda fights. Well, they did with Grogu a little bit, but I think Grogu is also CGI for the most part when he like flips around. And this movie also has one of the best Star Wars themes of all time. I love the Star Wars themes. I'm a big Star Wars music fan. Across the Stars is like, it's gorgeous. It's one of the most beautiful Star Wars songs of all time. Okay, number 14 is Solo.
Assume everyone will betray you, and you will never be disappointed.
I got a really good feeling about this.
And again, I know a lot of people don't like this one. Hey!
It's my opinion.
I thought Alden Ehrenreich did such a good job as the character. I like all the performances, honestly. I like Kira, I like Lando. I think for me, I just like seeing the relationship between Han and Chewie a little bit better. I like seeing how they met. I thought that was done very well. Kira, she's an iconic character. I really wish she would return. Like, I thought she was going to come back in Book of Boba Fett, and she didn't. I was a little disappointed about that. She's in one of the video games now, I know that. I think it's so crazy that she left him at the end. Like, I wasn't expecting it. Well, kind of was because of Leia, obviously, but she needs to return in the Mandoverse. I think that would be really cool. The only problem I have with this movie is the lighting. Like, it's very dark. It's very hard to see. Like, every time I use footage from this movie, I have to like brighten the screen like dramatically. Kind of wish it was more colorful and more bright, but that's my only complaint. I like the action, I like the story. And again, I know people, these next three are gonna piss people off, but that's okay. We're gonna have an honest conversation about it. So number 13 for me is The Last Jedi.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
This is not going to go the way you think.
I know this is the one that ruined Star Wars, some people would say. I don't think it ruined Star Wars. People were very divided about this movie when it came out. First of all, they never should have killed off Han in Force Awakens, and they shouldn't have killed off Luke here. Carrie Fisher, I understand because she passed away, and I think they did a good job with her death in Rise of Skywalker. However, it's unfortunate what happened to the main trilogy cast in this movie. I think the reason I like this movie a little bit more is because it's entertaining. I don't know. I think it's a lot of fun. I know the whole Finn and Rose side plot is like not important whatsoever, but I like seeing Rey train. I love the fight scene between Rey, Kylo, and then the guards, the Praetorian guards. That scene to me, I'll never forget watching that in theaters. And Holdo too. When Holdo like crashes the ship, the theater was like dead silent. Like, it was crazy. And I like the final battle too. I thought the Salt Planet, how they can like map out the battle and how you can see like the aftermath of it. I love that stuff. I think it's cool. And again, I like the characters. I know everyone likes to hate on Rey. They think she's like a Mary Sue, and she kind of is a Mary Sue, but I really like that she's a Palpatine. Like, it explains a lot. And also, I didn't mention this when I was talking about Rise of Skywalker, but that scene where she says Rey Skywalker, how that like completely divided the fandom and everything. I mean, she wasn't gonna tell that lady she was a Palpatine. The lady was like, "Who are you?" She's like,
Rey Palpatine, zap zap.
I mean, that wasn't gonna happen. So like, she kind of had to say Skywalker at the end there. But I know people don't like that. I mean, she kind of would have been a Skywalker. Like, if Kylo didn't die, those two would have been married, and she would have became a Skywalker at the end. This one's just so difficult to talk about. I think everyone's gonna like attack me in the comments for this one. These were my Star Wars movies. Like, I grew up watching these in theaters, so it was a big deal for me. Which brings us to the next one. Number 12 is The Force Awakens. I do think this was the best out of the three, and it was very well received. Like, the introduction to the characters was very good. I do think it was wrong of them to put Finn holding the lightsaber on all like the posters and everything. Like, he should have been the main character. He should have been a Jedi. And it's so interesting. I still think that if they continue with more Rey films, Finn needs to be a Jedi. Like, he needs to be in training and everything. And he was in training in one of the Lego short films. I know those like aren't canon at all, but I watched the summer one. Like, he was training with the lightsaber and everything, and they were all like ready to go their separate ways. because Rey was about to like rebuild the Jedi Academy or whatever, and then Finn was going off to train more. So, I mean, if they want to continue the story, they could always do that. Force Awakens, my only complaint was that they killed off Han Solo. Everything else I really enjoy. It is very similar to A New Hope, which we'll talk about very soon, but like the Death Star, it was basically just a duplicate of the Death Star, but it was like ginormous. Starkiller Base, that's what it was called. It was the same thing. I think they did that on purpose, to be honest. I think they wanted it to be successful, and it was successful. The writers played it very safe, and to be fair, it paid off for them. Number 11 is Star Wars A New Hope, aka the original Star Wars from 1977.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
Han Solo, captain of the Millennium Falcon.
Somebody has to save our skins.
It's so crazy that this came out in the 70s. It's crazy that this started the whole thing. And it's a classic, you know, you watch it and you're instantly like, oh my god, like this is Star Wars. It is what defines Star Wars. I think the whole original trilogy is Star Wars. Like, Acolyte, I'm sorry, forget the Acolyte. This is Star Wars.
Where's the lamb sauce?
I recently watched like Carrie Fisher's audition tape for Leia, and it was like her and then a bunch of other people too, and she did the best. Like, it was pretty crazy. She was born to play Princess Leia. They were all cast so well in this movie. They're iconic. The whole thing is iconic. I was gonna put it in the top 10, but unfortunately the next one beats it out just by a little bit, and I know some people are gonna be mad. It's my opinion. So number 10 is Skeleton Crew.
A crew of murderous pirates is coming.
I know people don't like this one. I think that the whole Mandoverse, the New Republic era, I think it's amazing. I think that this is the correct timeline that they should definitely be exploring now, because it's close enough to the originals and it's further enough away from the sequels that people aren't like super mad about it. And I know people say this one's like
just for kids or whatever.
I don't think that at all. I think Skeleton Crew is for everyone. I love Jude Law's performance. I like the kids' performance too. I think they all did such a good job. Neil is one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time now. He is hilarious.
This smoke is clogging my trunk.
The only small complaint about this show that I have, because in my tier list, I don't have it on the S category, I have it on the A category, because I do think the ending was rushed, because there really is a mystery surrounding the show about their planet, and I feel like the way the New Republic comes into it at the end, they should have showed like Mon Mothma or something. Like, someone has to know. Like, we needed to see that reaction of like the New Republic finding out about this planet now. Hopefully we get a season 2. I don't know. They said that some of the characters are going to return. I don't know if they're doing it for season 2 or if it's going to be maybe for Dave Filoni's Heir to the Empire movie. And then I don't know if Jod is going to be the one to return or if all the kids are going to come back. But hopefully they all come back, because I really liked these characters. I liked this show. My whole family liked this show too, actually, which was kind of nice. Kind of a relief after the Acolyte.
What is that?
I don't know, Chef.
It's not good enough. Get out.
I can't even apologize for that show. Like, I can't even apologize. It was so bad. But yeah, Skeleton Crew in the top 10 just because of Neil. He's an icon. So number 9 is Revenge of the Sith.
Leave everything else behind while we still can.
You're under arrest, Chancellor.
Also, this was just re-released in theaters, which is really cool because it made like a lot more money and people were just like having such a good time seeing it again. This one is so important. Like, it's crucial. Like, Anakin becomes Darth Vader in this one, so you can't skip out on it. Out of like all the Star Wars projects, this probably is one of the best plots, just because it's definitely a negative character arc. It's just cool to see how Anakin became Darth Vader. And then Order 66 too. Crazy scene. I love how they keep bringing Order 66 back. It's kind of bad because like so many other Jedi survived Order 66, and like in that movie you're like, oh, they all were killed in Order 66, but they weren't all killed in Order 66. I was gonna say it was the saddest Star Wars project, but I don't think that's true anymore. It is still sad though, especially when Padme dies. Like, that whole scene, ugh, it's so sad. But again, it's one of the best ones because the lightsaber fighting, the story, the music, and then just how it concludes. I think the whole thing is crazy. That brings us to the next one, number 9, which is the Clone Wars.
We were trained to be keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
You're probably already asking, Adam, why is Clone Wars below Rebels? Listen, Rebels We'll talk about Rebels when we get to it, but I do like Rebels better than Clone Wars. To me, Clone Wars, again, I think it's kind of like the Bad Batch, how there's like a lot of filler episodes. Rebels is more like a family. Like there's a very family dynamic to it, whereas the Clone Wars, they feel like coworkers, to be honest. Like Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka, they're a great trio. Like they are iconic characters for sure, but I do think that the show lost its footing a little bit with season 6 after Ahsoka leaves. Like that whole season, it's just really weird to me. Like I don't think the show works without Ahsoka, to be honest. And to be fair, there's a lot of other characters that they touch upon in this show. Like there's so many different arcs, which I think that's what makes it interesting. Like you have some episodes where like Ventress has her own arc, then Ahsoka has her own arc, and then like Obi-Wan has his own arc. I love the Mandalore stuff. I love Satine and Obi-Wan. Like I do think Corgi is their child, by the way. I do believe that to be true. And then season 7, oh my gosh. Season 7 was probably like the best thing Disney has done for Star Wars, because season 6 was such a bad conclusion for the show. And then they were like, oh, we're gonna continue it. And then they did the Siege of Mandalore, which is like one of the best Star Wars. I mean, those 4 episodes are like the best Star Wars episodes of all time, to be honest. The confrontation between Ahsoka and Darth Maul, Maul's hallway fight scene as well. It's so good. I absolutely love it. Next is number 7, and I know people are going to be really shocked by this one, but number 7 is the Book of Boba Fett.
I have a few scores to settle.
This is one of the best shows from Star Wars. It had one of my favorite episodes, and it's the episode where Boba Fett like isn't even in the he's not even in the episode, which is so bad. It is kind of weird how they like switched it up, how like it basically is Mandalorian season 2.5. Like you can't watch season 3 of Mandalorian without watching the Book of Boba Fett. I love how they brought back Ahsoka, and I love how she met Luke. That is like one of the best Star Wars scenes in my opinion. I just think it's so cool. He better come back. Luke Skywalker needs to come back and like have more scenes with Ahsoka, because those two, like the dialogue that was like said, how she was like, oh, you're so much like your father. I was like geeking out the whole time.
So much like your father.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
Boba Fett's cool too. I mean, we get to see how he escapes the Sarlacc pit, which is really crazy. I like his dynamic with Fennec Shand a lot. Those two definitely need a season 2. Like, I know people don't want Boba Fett season 2. I want Boba Fett season 2. I think there's a lot you could do with that now, especially after we found out Cad Bane has a child. If you haven't watched Tales of the Underworld, I'm sorry I spoiled that for you. Also, I don't know if Cad Bane is dead. Like, there was a thing blinking on his, like, chest or whatever, so he might come back. He might still be alive. And Mace Windu could also return for season 2. And Kira, like I said, Kira needs to come back. Tamora Morrison, he's so great. He's hilarious.
Then we had to do some scenes like a bantha.
And I do feel bad that his show was basically Mandalorian season 2.5, but that's the whole reason I like it. Like, I love Mandalorian, so of course I like Book of Boba Fett, because it has Grogu and it has Mando and it has so many cameos. I'll never forget watching it for the first time. Like, all those people that show up, I was like, holy crap, I can't believe they're in this show. And that brings us to number 6, which is Ahsoka.
Come on, Snips. The battle's not over yet. Don't be afraid.
I think out of all the Star Wars characters, she was the one to deserve her own show. She is one of the best written Star Wars characters of all time. I don't think the writing did her justice on this show. I do like how she kind of like became Ahsoka the White or whatever. Like, her whole outfit at the end kind of changed because she kind of like she got peace at the end. Like, from everything that happened with Anakin, she finally like accepted everything that had happened over the years, which I really like. Also, the trailer for this show, I'll never forget watching it for the first time, because it's crazy. When you watch Rebels and then like a couple months later the trailer comes out and you see all these characters in live action, it is the coolest thing. I don't think Hera was particularly well casted. The others are terrific though. I think Sabine and Ezra, the actors now who are playing them, I mean, they do such a good job. I love that they brought back Hayden Christensen for this show. Him and Rosario Dawson, their fight scenes that they had were really cool. The whole flashback sequence, amazing. And then Grand Admiral Thrawn, of course, how he returns, and really how they like added on to Star Wars Rebels. I mean, this basically is Star Wars Rebels Season 5. Like, it's kind of crazy that they did that, but I feel like I'm more excited for Season 2 of Ahsoka, to be honest, just because it ends on a cliffhanger. Like, I kind of don't like that they did that, but like I am curious to know how it's gonna continue. It's unfortunate what happened to Ray Stevenson. I know they already recasted him, and hopefully the new guy playing him does a good job, because they can't forget about that character. Like, that whole ending is like pretty important. Like it ties back into the Clone Wars, but like the arc with like the Mortis gods or whatever, how that's like tying in now. And it like all goes back to that, which is so crazy. Okay, so now we're in the top 5. Number 5 is Rogue One.
They have no idea we're coming.
Take hold of this moment. The Force is strong.
Make 10 men feel like 100.
Listen, I rewatched Rogue One after Andor Season 2 wrapped up. It's so crazy. I'll never rewatch it the same way ever again. Like, knowing what happens in Andor, we'll talk about Andor, but even without Andor, like, it's still an amazing movie. When it was released in theaters, the ending shocked literally everyone. And I love how it leads into A New Hope. I love Cassian Andor, and I love all the characters. I think the whole team is great. I do know that a lot of people have this as like their favorite Star Wars movie. This is my second favorite Star Wars movie, just because the ending is so sad. Like, it's so sad. I was crying like rewatching this after Andor, like knowing that Cassian has a child and he never got to see his child. It's so sad. But the action is amazing. The story is amazing. I do think that Star Wars needs to make more movies like this if they want to like be number one at the box office again, like how they were with Force Awakens. Again, that was the first like really big modern Star Wars movie, because it made like what, like $2 billion or close to it or something. I'm sure Mandalorian and Grogu is not going to be like this at all, and I'm sure the Ryan Gosling Star Wars film isn't going to be like this, but it needs to be. There's a certain like maturity to it. Like, it feels very adult. It's like the complete opposite of Skeleton Crew, which is hilarious. I just like the story of it all. I like how they get the Death Star plans to the rebellion. I think the whole idea of that is like really well done, and Andor includes that as well, which we'll talk about now, because Andor is number 4.
The Empire must be stopped. I have friends everywhere.
Right now, I'm more afraid of you than anything.
And I gotta tell you, season 1 of Andor, I didn't, like, it wasn't my favorite. Like, I probably would have had it in, like, the B category, to be honest, like, on the tier list. I would have put it in the B category, but now it's in the S category after season 2. Oh my gosh, season 2 of Andor is one of the best Star Wars projects of all time. They just, like, pushed it out for, like, a bunch of Emmy nominations. Like, Disney really wants to be like, hey, give us some awards over here. And they deserve the awards. They really do. Ugh. Cassian Andor, man. Fantastic character. Also, Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma is such an icon.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
Like, she's one of the greatest Star Wars characters, in my opinion. And it's so crazy how it just went from this, like, side character in Return of the Jedi back in the 80s to being, like, one of the best well-written characters in Star Wars. The whole dance scene, it's insane. I absolutely love the wedding scene so much. Knowing what she went through, how she like built the rebellion and everything through secrecy without her family knowing. I just think it's so cool. The show is about Cassian, obviously, but it really is also about like the 5 women. It's about Mon Mothma, it's about Dedra, it's about Bix, it's about Vel, and it's about Kleya. And Kleya kind of saved the entire galaxy, to be honest. Kleya, she was like the standout character for sure. Standout, like, new character, I would say. Because I think Mon Mothma was the standout, as well as Cassian, obviously. I do hope some of these characters return. I hope Vel and Kleya return. And I hope that Mon Mothma returns in Ahsoka Season 2. Because it's going to be so different now, like, watching her rule the galaxy, knowing like everything that she went through. Also, I want to know what happened to her family. Like, we know what happened to her husband. Her husband freaking cheated on her. But her daughter, when they get to that point after the fall of the Empire and everything, like, I wonder if her daughter like forgives her, you know? They need more Star Wars shows like this. They really do. I think everyone's a little afraid that we're never gonna get anything like this again from Star Wars. I think that people really want more adult Star Wars content, and this is it. This has the right formula. The whole Gorman sequence, just one of the best episodes of all time. And then I just love seeing Yavin 4. It's so cool how Andor leads into Rogue One, and then Rogue One leads into A New Hope. And it's so smooth, and it perfectly ties together. It's the coolest thing. I'm curious to know, where does Andor rank for you guys? Like, is it in the top 10 at least? Because if not, you're kind of crazy. And I know we have our own opinions, but come on. Andor is, oh, it's so good.
And then you're probably asking, what are your top 3? Well, here's my top 3. Number 3
is Empire Strikes Back.
The Force is with you, Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
I just think that this is classic Star Wars, and it's better than A New Hope. Like, I don't know who would put A New Hope above Empire Strikes Back, because Empire is where it's at, okay? I think I like the romance aspect of it. I love Han and Leia. That whole scene where she's like, I love you. He's like, yeah, I know. It's iconic. I keep using that word a lot, iconic. I need a better vocabulary, apparently. It's timeless, that's what it is. It's a timeless scene. There's so many classic lines in that movie. And I know we talked about cliffhangers with like Ahsoka, but this cliffhanger was pretty good because George Lucas, obviously, he knew where the story was going. He continued it in the next film, and it just turned out so great. I love Boba Fett's introduction. I love Lando's introduction, and I like Yoda's introduction also. I forget that this is the one that introduced Yoda. Every time I think of this movie, I just think of like Cloud City, but it had Dagobah as well, and Hoth too. It is peak Star Wars for sure. It's the best movie in my opinion. Okay, number 2 is Star Wars Rebels.
Is a Bridger mine at last?
Star Wars Rebels, to me, yes, I like it better than Clone Wars. It's just what I grew up with. I watched it on Disney XD when it came out. I don't think I finished watching it on Disney XD. I think I finished watching it on Disney Plus, but I saw a lot of it when I was like really little, so it's got some nostalgia for me for sure. Although, to be honest, I think the original trilogy has like the most nostalgia for me, and I do think that helps Star Wars. Like, the nostalgia factor is definitely something they're bringing back with the Mandoverse for sure. But I'm glad they're doing that because these characters...
I almost said iconic again.
These characters are fantastic. They are fantastic. I love how they're a family. Kanan's death is like the saddest thing to me. I love Ezra. I love Sabine. I love Zeb. And Chopper, of course, the little war criminal that he is. And I like how for some of the episodes, it is like a continuation of the Clone Wars, like how they bring Rex back and how Ahsoka is in it and she battles Anakin. Like that is some of the coolest things about this show. I love the dynamic of all the characters. I love how Ezra and Zeb are kind of like brothers, and like Hera and Kanan are like the parents of the group. Like, it just works out so well. And I'm so happy that they're in the Ahsoka show and the Mandoverse. There were rumors that Amanis Fondi, who plays Ezra, is going to be in like another project besides Ahsoka season 2, so those characters could show up in The Mandalorian and Grogu, and we know Zeb is going to be in Mandalorian and Grogu too, which is cool. Like, I'm so happy they're in live action now. I think it's the coolest thing. And the ending, to be honest, I feel like before Ahsoka came out, Rebels was a bit lower for me just because of the massive cliffhanger at the end, but they wrapped it up. They concluded it in Ahsoka, you know? So it definitely works out now. And I would honestly say this is one of the best Star Wars shows, if not for my number 1. We'll get to that in a minute, but Rebels, go watch it. Like, if you have not watched Star Wars Rebels, you are not a true Star Wars fan, okay? Like, you have to watch this show. It's so good. I do think there are some filler episodes, but it's not as bad as the Bad Batch. It's not like as dragged out as some of the Clone Wars episodes. Season 1 is like a little tough to get through, but I mean, everything else, it's amazing. I absolutely love these characters on this show. So number 1, my favorite Star Wars project of all time is Mandalorian.
You know this is no place for a child. Wherever I go, he goes.
If Grogu reaches out through the Force, there's a chance a Jedi may sense his presence and come searching for him.
And I'm not apologizing for it. I know some people are like, oh, Mandalorian, it's just like the cameo show. Yeah, I like cameos.
Get over it.
Cameos, I mean, that's why Marvel was so successful. Marvel was built on cameos, and how Star Wars is doing that now, I love it. I absolutely love it. Season 2 of Mandalorian, by the way, is like the greatest Star Wars season of all time. And I like Season 1 and Season 3. I don't think they were as good as Season 2, though. I mean, there was nothing like it. Like, when Luke Skywalker showed up at the end, everyone was doing, like, live reactions to it. Everyone was freaking out. It was trending like crazy. And the ending was, like, the ending was so emotional. And they kind of cheated it out with Boba Fett. But, I mean, they can't get rid of Grogu and Mando. Like, those two belong together. And he adopted him at the end of Season 3. And that's going to be cool to see now with the Mandalorian Grogu movie, which is releasing next year. And I'm extremely excited for that movie. Like, I think it's going to be, I don't know, I hope it makes a lot of money for them. But I'm curious to know because it's based off of a TV show. And, like, for all the casual fans who haven't seen the series, like, are they gonna watch the movie? It's gonna be interesting for sure, but I'm glad they're making a movie. Kind of maybe would have preferred a season 4 just because it would have given us a bit more, but I'm excited for Star Wars to be back in theaters next year. I mean, it's been a long time. It's been like 6 years, so I think it was very, very smart of them to bring in Grogu, and they hid it so well in Season 1. Like, we had no idea what it was about. Like, all the trailers hid Grogu, and it was so perfect that they did that. Grogu, also, by the way, one of the best Star Wars characters. I know I say that about a lot of Star Wars characters, but I think Grogu, Neil
for sure.
Grogu, Neil, Mon Mothma, Princess Leia, those are probably like my favorite Star Wars characters. And Chewbacca, and Luke, and Ahsoka. I could go on and on. I'm such a Star Wars nerd. If y'all are Star Wars nerds, please let me know in the comments because I feel very alone these days. Like, none of my friends watch Star Wars. Literally no one. Like, there's no one I can talk to about any of this except my parents because I make my parents watch everything. And they are Star Wars fans now. So, I mean, I can definitely turn anyone into a Star Wars fan, but like, especially after Season 2 of Andor wrapped up, I was like, who can I talk to about this? Because it was like one of the coolest things they've done in such a long time. But anyways, my number one, it's Mandalorian. And again, I'm not apologizing for it. I absolutely love Mando so much. I need to like grab some water now because I talked a whole lot today. Okay, I want to know, what is your favorite Star Wars project? And really, where does Andor rank for you? Because that's what everyone's talking about now. I mean, not everyone's going to agree with this list. Hey, I know people don't like the sequels, but this is just my ranking. Here's my tier list that I made. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I've really been wanting to do this. And I'm debating on whether or not I should rank the Marvel projects, but that's gonna take a really long time. Thanks to everyone for watching out there. Thank you for listening to my crazy Star Wars opinions. Please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next video.